Hey everybody, Katrina here, and this is my number one trick that got me out of the daily 9 to 5 grind. Good morning, I'm here at my favorite spot here at the mall. Again, going to the gym. I have a noon session, but I thought of still going early so I can put in early work. I'm putting pressure on myself. Look at this beautiful landscape background at the exhibit. And if you're tuning in live, let me know. Or if you're also catching this on a replay, comment replay, and let me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is there at your place right now. I think it's past 9 a.m. here in Toronto. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm Katrina. I love what I do. I help ambitious working mamas like you watching this make life changing money online. And oh my gosh, you know what? Kahapon, pag uwi ko from the gym and then picking up my sons, I came home to another set of huge envelope blessings in the mailbox. And I have yet to share in our community. Usually we share our success and income posts there, not publicly here because of not just privacy, but compliance. Also, but if you're in our community, you will definitely see how much I got for the past couple of days, and I'll be sharing that. Just to not that's not to brag, but to inspire you guys na kung nakaya ko din, not having any prior experience and just also your, everyday hardworking mama. If it's possible for me, then it's also possible for you. So let's get this going. What's my number one trick that got me out of the daily 9 to 5 grind? What do you think? Make a guess. And if this is the first time you're hearing from me, and if you're not familiar with my story, I am a mom of three. We moved here to Canada way back in 2016. Feels like eons ago. At the same time, feels like just yesterday. And you know what? This actually, just a trivia, this jacket that I'm wearing, this is actually my very first jacket. This is from the Philippines. My husband bought it before we flew in here because that was springtime and we were so scared of the cold weather. We actually intentionally flew in here springtime because we're so scared of winter, being tropical babies. But we heard it's still cold in springtime, so we bought jacket in the Philippines. And every time I would wear this jacket, so this is like an 8-year-old jacket. It's one of my favorites. Every time I would wear this, is I would always get compliments like, "Where did you get that? That's so nice." It's actually from a tropical country. There you go. I actually almost ditched this one because there's a hole somewhere. But then I realized, oh my gosh, this has tons of memories, and I think I got another hole somewhere, so I need to have it fixed. There you have it. Just a little trivia for those of you guys. And then we moved here. In the Philippines, I have different career backgrounds. I studied broadcast communication in one of the universities. That was my biggest dream before, was to become a reporter on the national television. I was able to work in one of the top networks there, GMA7, but off cam. I think God definitely has a different plan. It was fun. That's where I met my husband and then gained lots of friends, a best friend there, in from GMA7. And then I took nursing because the longer term plan was to practice nursing here in Canada because healthcare nursing, it pays huge. I was able to actually finish that. I got licensed. It was 3 years of another hard work. We already had our eldest son back then. I think he was just about, what, 2008, about a year old. I think when I started that, and then I was able to practice as a student nurse. And then I got hired, but immediately, I think after just one shift, I quit. And then I just realized, oh, maybe this is not, how I envision myself to be. But that time I was already dabbling at life insurance, which is Sun Life. I'm grateful for that. It was like more than 2 years of being there. I was already up for promotion as a manager, but then another great news came, which is we had our visa approval here as immigrants, permanent residents here in Canada. So it was a heartbreaking moment to tell that to my life insurance manager back then. But at the same time, the other half of my heart is rejoicing for another chapter for my family here in Canada. So those are the different careers that I tapped into in my past lives because always wanting something better for my family, of course. And I actually tried to practice nursing here. I submitted all my credentials and all, but since I barely had like experience, like professional experience back home, they said, "Oh, you don't have enough experience. You're not apt to practice. You have to study again." And back then, it was they required me to study another like 3 4 years. I was like, "What?" Maybe if I was single, it would be different. But I need to earn, for my family. I need to help my husband bring food to the table. And I was like, "Okay, maybe I'll just pause on this," and then here, different jobs, survival jobs in the kitchen of a private school, helping out in the kitchen, cutting, slicing vegetables, cleaning the tables. That's a summer stint, and after that, I landed on my. Oh, there's also one. I worked at a lingerie warehouse, processing orders for underwear for women, and then after the kitchen summer stint, and then I was able to finally land my very first corporate job at the law firm, about 2 years, and after that at an investment firm. So that was like the progression of my career here in Canada. So yes, I was part of the daily grind. I would say no, no. There's nothing bad about it. If you find joy in it, and if you think that's your cup of tea, that's okay. There's just other people that they're content with that, they're happy with that, and that's good for you. I just realized that I'm I wanted a way out, and I think a lot of you are also feeling the same way, right? You have your routine, waking up to an alarm clock, like dragging yourself to work, and just feeling robotic about the routine. Preparing the kids to school, and then just focusing your a chunk of your day at your day job, and then at the end of the day you only barely have time for yourself, maybe just 2 hours for your kids and your husband, and you you hit the bed so tired, and then your your thoughts keep you awake at night, like how long can you still sustain that daily grind, like just doing it all over again 5 days a week, sometimes six, sometimes you do overtime, sometimes you do multiple jobs just to make ends meet, to pay off the mortgage, to basically have that extra vacation because your daily minimum just doesn't make the cut. So if you want to go home to your family, if you're also an immigrant like me, if you want to go home to the Philippines or other home countries that you have, it will it's either that you work double, or you take something out of your credit card, and then so when you come back after the vacation, now you have to pay for that, and then it's a cycle. It's never ending. And when we moved here to Canada after 3 years, prior to finding this business, my turning point was what when I was about that was December 2018. So in like end of January, first day of February, I will be taking my maternity leave because I'm about to give birth February 12th, like my scheduled cesarean section for our youngest. And I was so anxious. That was really the turning point. I'm scared and anxious. I'm frustrated at the same time. And I prayed, like, Lord, show me something. I know I need to do something different to have a different result because it's silly, it's crazy that I'm wanting something different, but I kept on doing the same things over and over again, right? And I know you feel that way too, right? Moms, dads out there, But Jensen is just so hard to pivot. I think that's the word, because we're so used to the daily mundane, going to our work, and we think we would get old, right? So, hey Rosie, thanks for tuning in here. And so, what was the number one trick that got me out of the daily grind? What was it? It's the mindset. And what's in that mindset? We always say, I'm always saying mindset is huge, but what's in that, the component of that mindset? There are two things. Number one is the sense of urgency. And number two, I stopped dwelling on what's not working. First, sense of urgency, I held myself accountable. Like, how soon can I get out of this rut? You know, if I wanted something different, I need to take action. And the moment I prayed that powerful prayer, like, Lord, show me something. It's been like 3 years we're here in Canada. We're grateful for all the blessings, the government, the new environment, but it's just the same. Running in circles, we earn dollars, we spend dollars, barely, just supporting our parents back home in the Philippines, bare minimum. We can't even sponsor them. And we thought after 2 years we would be able to get them, we'll have a house, things like that. But I was wrong. So after that, I think about 2, 3 weeks after that, I saw a post on my social media. This wonderful couple talking about digital business, how it has transformed so many lives, and it has started to transform their lives too after 24 failed businesses in the past. Traditional network marketing, reaching out to families and friends. That's 24 failed businesses. They're now part of No Friends Left. No Friends Left. Because they always reach out to friends and families. But here in the business, they're able to reach me, even though they're in Calgary, I'm here in Toronto, and they're talking about faith, ministry, helping their families, their uh, parents to retire early. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. I was like, Lord, is this the answer to my prayer? So I did my due diligence. I researched, and part of me, yes, a bit skeptical in a sense that, is this even possible? Like, if these people are not good people, why are they showing themselves? Why are they talking about ministry, faith, Bo Sanchez, and personal growth and finance? I was like, okay, maybe this is it, right? I gave myself a sense of urgency to take action. I was scared. Yes, I was also a bit skeptical. My husband was like 1,000% skeptical because he is concerned that I might get into trouble or I might get into something not nice, right? So we do respect those skepticism, and a healthy dose of skepticism is also good. So when I gave myself this sense of urgency and I stopped dwelling on the things that are not working. Like, instead focusing on the things that, what can I do? What can I do? How can I move on from this? How can I dig myself out of the rut? When I started focusing on that, like this opportunity, how can I learn more? What's the next step? How can I improve my mindset, my skill set, my strategy? When I focus on those things, and how can I associate with these people, like I've talked about laws of association the couple of days. When I started focusing on the things that I can work on and I have total control over, things started to shift. And fast forward to almost 5 years now, here I am, here in the mall, going to the gym at 9 in the morning, midweek, being able to do the things that help me grow, not just as a person, but as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, as a child of God, and as a wife, as a mentor, as a coach, being able to do all of these things at my own flexible time, you know, it's huge. And looking back, almost 5 years ago, this is like a totally different reality for me. And my environment, my reality, my daily life changed because I held myself accountable. I became more urgent to success, whatever that means for you as well. For me, success is, I adapt what Earl Nightingale said about success is, which is success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. For some people, success means money, success means fame or cars or houses. That's okay if that's your own meaning. But if you're not, if you don't have those things yet, but you know that you are going there, you're doing things to achieve your income goal, your house goals, your maybe your career goals, your family goals, then you're successful. Give yourself some grace. You know, it doesn't mean that when you have those things that that's the only time that you'll be successful. That doesn't mean that you're a failure now. If you're working towards your goals, whatever those goals are, then you are successful. So if you've been thinking about what really is success, what's the meaning of life, maybe you can borrow that one too. Like success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if you know you're working towards something worthy, then you are successful. Give yourself a pat on the back, right? And so that those two mindset, and under the mindset is basically sense of urgency, being urgent, getting the things that you want, you need, and for the bigger purpose that you serve. And the second is focusing. I stopped focusing on things that's not working, and instead focusing my energy on the things that I can do to progress myself. There you have it. So I hope that helps. Thank you, everyone. You guys are a little quiet today, but I know you guys are watching. Thank you so much. I hope I've provided value. I'll be diving into some deep work today, and I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh, ang dami kong leads. Yesterday, in one sitting, I needed to address like 30 business inquiries. Whew. I'm not, hindi ako nagrereklamo. It's a blessing. It's additional work, but I love it. I enjoy it. This is not work for me. This is like fun for me. And I find true value in it. And I don't take it for granted, being able to enjoy my daily life. And I watched a replay of a Zoom of our leaders in our community. And one of the leaders, Karen Nguyen, if you're watching, I really love it. And when you said, sometimes we go getters, like, if you're a go getter, you always want the next milestone, next milestone. But you tend to sometimes forget that the real the real goal is to enjoy the destiny. No, sorry. The real goal is to enjoy the journey going towards your destination, right? Sometimes we're so focused on certain goals. Yes, goals are awesome, being a go getter is awesome. But sometimes you have to pause. And in my yoga session, I'm always catching myself forgetting this, that you have to breathe. Breathe, focusing on yourself as well, being present, being more present where you are exactly, and enjoying the journey. Like every morning, I also watch this short video, I think, yeah, on Reels, a mom crying in the car, and she's realizing she's towards the end of her motherhood era. The kids are growing up, and then there's another mom showing her swing the playground in her backyard. She said no one plays with it anymore, and she's sad. At the same time, her heart breaks, and there were moments that she kept on thinking that when the little kids are still little, her kids are still little, she would tell herself, when would be the time that these kids will, push themselves, can ride a swing without me pushing them. And she needs to balance. She has a girl and a boy. She needs to balance pushing one, pushing one. And then she said last summer, she said she only pushed once. And now she's yearning for that moment that they would ride again those swings, and then they would ask her to push them. And it's really sometimes those things like me, it made me realize, like, the morning rush, putting socks on my 5-year-old, and I cherish that moment right there and then, like smelling his feet, little things like that, because I know those are fleeting. I have our eldest is turning 16. This She's 15, so I know it's fast. And then 10-year-old, less time with us at home, more time for their peers and school activities. So I'm trying to be more present And I'm grateful that this business is letting me do that, those things, because it lets me breathe and have conversations like this with you guys. Right? If this any of these resonates with you, let me know, and I'd love to connect. Um, Great, awesome. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. This is me again here at my favorite spot, and thank you for always tuning in. And I'll see you again. Okay, bye for now. Take care.